AKG back again, and today we're gonna talk about a game I covered a little while back before it was released, and that game is Silent Hill Ascension. And back then already people were speculating it's gonna be a disaster with the system that we're implementing with the currency for votes, and let's just look into it right now. So on Google Apps, Google Play Store, the rating for it is 1.7 stars out of 12.1 thousand reviews. And as for Metacritic, that is 0.7 out of, I think Metacritic had 10 score system, or 100 I should say. It's 0.7 of that. It's the lowest rated game I have ever seen so far. And now let's read some comments. So one of the Google Play comments is, I was expecting a choose your adventure, but it is a crowd vote by money. I have not had a live vote event, but considering the starting credits and the daily login credits, it would take some money. For being so simple, the app is horrible. First time opening, had no clue what was going on, then suddenly a tutorial pops up on page 3. You have to go home before closing to save watch history. Notification bar will show up and require restart to go away. First episode is so confusing, I'm not interested. And a lot of people had big hopes for this game because it's a Silent Hill game. Everybody's always excited about the new Silent Hill game. But as I've always said, my apologies for that. As I've always said, mobile games is the one market that I will never be behind because it's so littered with pay-to-win mechanics and developers just not giving a shit about you or anybody else for that matter. All they care about is how can we squeeze as much money as possible out of you for as little work as possible. Just like imagine a FIFA game. They just want your goddamn money for the ultimate team. The rest of the modes are shit. The next comment says, after a month of trying to see past the flaws, I gotta say this experience missed the mark on every level. The story is very disjointed. For example, at one point a character firebombs the Foundation and then sacrifices for them a few scenes later. That is not a believable narrative. The devs will say we picked a path, but there is no way that many people are choosing redemption for every single decision. It's either a scam or no one playing gets what makes a good story. Now with this, I also kinda would agree with the sentiment behind it. There's no way every single person picks the redemption route, because I've played games where your collective decision makes a pathing of a story. And okay, let's take Red Dead Redemption for example. When you play multiplayer missions, you have the option of honorable or dishonorable route, let's call them. And my experience with that was most people chose this honorable, even where sense-wise it would have made more to choose an honorable path. So the fact that you have every decision go through that redemption path, it says it's not that believable. And if that is the case, then there is an explanation potentially for that, because they have a system for the crowd voting, right? But you can also have these set votes with the currency that they have in the game, and with that comes the fact that the one who has more money gets to have a higher vote count. So maybe the one who really wanted to go through that redemption path just paid for the credits and got the route he wanted. Now, as for the next comment, it starts with, I was looking forward to it, but it was a huge letdown. Puzzles aren't story oriented, plots aren't making sense, players aren't taking it seriously, votes are heavily swayed, and the character customization / gift options are comical for such a serious game. It's hard to actually enjoy it. It probably would be better as a show series instead of a community-driven game, or as a choose-your-own-adventure like the play novel. The idea was there and it was great, but poorly executed. Yeah, it's like they have these puzzles which you can earn the currency you need to vote for, as I remember. And some puzzles were locked behind a battle pass, let's call it. I'm not sure what they called it, but it's essentially a battle pass system. And behind that system, but puzzles, was you know, let's say you do a puzzle and you get, let's say, 100 coins to vote. And they said they wouldn't lock anything behind any paywall system, but thing is, if you do own that said battle pass, let's say, you do get early access to said puzzles to earn the currency. And because of that, it is essentially a pay-to-win mechanic in its sense, because you get an early access to the currency votes and you can outvote others that do not. That's just my opinion on it. Now, let's look at some of the Metacritic reviews. With the first one, what a bit disappointment. Pay to play, lackluster in every way. What cheap way of a cash grab. Unbelievable they release something like that and expect to make the franchise good with it. Hopefully they handle the other games better. Now, I already expected it's gonna be pay to win. That there's not gonna be really anything else but a cash grab in this game. What I would say is that they're not expecting to make the franchise good with it. They were expecting for people to just give them money for this atrocious product and get away with it. They were not expecting to make a good Silent Hill game. If they wanted to make a good Silent Hill game, they could have. What they wanted is the name Silent Hill carries and the fans behind it to just shell out as much money on this game as possible. They didn't care about the brand, they didn't care about anything like the sort of reputation it has, or it will ruin the reputation of the games series. It doesn't matter to them. All they wanted was your cash. That is all. For the next comment, maybe that true next-gen interactive horror experience we were looking for was the microtransactions we made along the way. And with this, it's kind of funny, and I agree with it though. Honestly, the most horror experience thing a person nowadays can have is the microtransactions. They can't make a good game and have no microtransactions in it. It's even so greedy that some games on Google Play Store, even if you pay for them like 20 bucks for them, there is still microtransaction in that game that makes you spend more. I understand a free-to-play game, you can have your microtransactions, it's fine, you have to make your money somehow. But when you ask for a price in a game and there is still microtransactions, that's really greedy. But you also can balance free-to-play game with microtransactions that don't feel in a way that it is pay to win. But a lot of developers refuse to do so because it's not going to make them as much money. It's going to make them way more money if they're incentivized to spend more on the game. And that is ultimately anybody's goal. Which is why I usually don't even consider playing mobile games, because I know it's going to be literally pay to win mechanics or something that will impede your progress unless you spend, which in the end falls under the category of pay to win. And I'd say that I'm all done for the video today, and I'll see you guys next time.